Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about cryptographic capabilities of popular pen testing tools. So modern penetration testing, usually called pen testing, is a security assessment where trained professionals simulate cyber attacks for companies to identify vulnerabilities before attackers can actually exploit them. Pen testing is ethically attacking a system, network, application, or device to find security weaknesses. The goal is not to cause damages, but to identify and report vulnerabilities so that they can be fixed. Penetration testers must understand not only how cryptographic mechanisms are supported to work, but also how they can fail in practical deployments. This presentation explores how modern pen testing tools and hardware devices interact with cryptographic systems and how these capabilities help identify weaknesses that could compromise integrity in real-world environments. We will begin by outlining the essential cryptographic concepts that penetration testers rely on, including hashing, key exchange, symmetric and asymmetric encryption, and entropy sources. Let's take a look at the important foundations of core concepts that penetration tools operate on. First is symmetric encryption, such as AES, which is used to encrypt large columns of data efficiently. Symmetric keys must remain secret so that pen testing tools focus on recovering them, identifying unique key generation processes, or detecting insecure nodes of operation. Asymmetric encryption provides security key exchange and digital signatures. Algorithms like RSA and elliptic curve cryptography support secure email and multi-factor authentication devices. Penetration testers often examine whether key sizes are too small, whether padding schemes are used correctly, or whether the system is exposed to downgrade attack to force weak perimeters. Another important concept is hashing and password protection. Unlike encryption, hashing is one way. However, when organizations use weaker outdated functions, password cracking tools such as Hashcat or John the Ripper can recover passwords quickly by exploiting poor entropy or insufficient computational hardness. Finally, effective cryptography relies on entropy and randomness. Penetration testing frameworks include entropy analyzers to check these implementation mistakes.
Why cryptography matters in pen testing. Many real-world breaches come from cryptographic misconfiguration, not broken algorithms. Pen testers identify issues such as weak password hashing that enables rapid cracking, misconfigured TLS, which allows interception or downgrade attacks, poor entropy that breaks key generation, and incorrect AES usage, enabling plain text recovery. These failures lead to compromised confidentiality, integrity, and authentication. Let's begin by talking about symmetric encryption testing. Symmetric encryption, which mainly falls under AES, is the primary symmetric algorithm encountered in penetration testing. What testers evaluate? They look at reused nonces in AES GCM, predictable IVs in AES CDC, hard-coded or weakly derived symmetric keys, and incorrect padding. Security properties include that ciphertext should not reveal information about plain text, and it should detect tampering via authentication tags. Some assumptions are that keys are random, secret, and long enough, such as 128 bits minimum, and nonces and IVs are unique and unpredictable. The threat model is that pen testers simulate attackers who intercept encrypted traffic, replay messages, or attempt to perform chosen plaintext or chosen ciphertext attacks. If AES is used incorrectly, such as nonce reuse in GCM, testers can recover plaintext or forge valid ciphertexts. The next one we're going to look at is asymmetric encryption. RSA is used for key exchange, authentication, and digital signatures. Some methods and protocols is that RSA for encryption and signatures, elliptic curve cryptography, ECC, or ECDH, key exchange, and ECDSA signatures. Some security properties is confirming identities during key exchange, securing session keys, and non-repudiation via digital signatures. Some assumptions are that they are large key sizes, secure padding, and no downgrade to outdated protocols. The threat model is that pen testers search for weak key sizes, outdated version, and misconfigured certificate chains.
Next, I'll move on to hashing and password attacks. Hashing and password recovery are major parts of cryptographic penetration testing. Testers look for weak algorithms like MD5 and SHA1 and prefer strong functions like bcrypt, script, and argon2. Tools such as Hashcat and John the Ripper allows testers to simulate real attacker techniques, which are dictionary attacks, rule-based mutations, GPU brute force, and mask attacks based on common patterns. The threat model here is straightforward, so an attacker with a dumped credential database trying to recover passwords. Pen testers replicate this process to show how quickly weak hashing choices can fail. Now I'll focus on randomness, which is one of the most common real-world failure points in cryptography. So testers evaluate RNG quality, entropy, pool strength, and whether IVs and nonces are unique. This matters because predictable randomness leads to guessable session keys, repeated nonces, and even duplicated private keys across devices. And the highest risk environments are usually IoT, embedded systems, and some cloud instances where entropy isn't properly initialized. So even if strong algorithms are used, poor randomness can compromise the entire system. Now, I'll be highlighting the main software and hardware tools that penetration testers use when evaluating cryptographic systems. So on the software side, we have Burp Suite, which is used for TLS and certification analysis. So testers can spot weak ciphers, short key sizes, or chain issues. The Kali Linux utilities includes crypto scanners, entropy tests, and protocol analyzers, which help detect misconfigurations or insecure implementations. Hashcat enables GPU accelerated password cracking, especially when weak or outdated hash functions are used. So on the hardware side, HSMs provides secure key storage, and testers look at policy or configuration gaps that can weaken that security. YubiKeys and smart cards support MFA and secure key storage, but in real deployments, they're often misconfigured. The main idea is that these tools expose practical, real-world weaknesses that purely theoretical crypto analysis wouldn't catch.
All of this analysis has real-world implications. Weak password hashing leads to breaches. Misconfigured TLS can expose encrypted traffic. Predictable randomness breaks key and token security, and faulty AES usage can lead attackers to recover or forge messages. But pen testers also face real-world challenges, which are legacy crypto is still everywhere. MFA hardware is often deployed incorrectly, and pervasive encryption limits visibility. There are also ethical and practical constraints. For example, fully cracking a strong password hash during a limited engagement may not be feasible. Cryptographic penetration testing has great strength. It identifies misconfigurations that scanners miss, demonstrates real-world risk, and bridges the gap between cryptographic theory and practical security. But there are some limitations. Many systems are black boxes, especially in cloud or hardware environments. Ethical constraints restrict how deeply testers can probe, and pervasive encryption sometimes hides the information testers need. Looking ahead, we expect major changes. Post-quantum cryptography will require new testing strategies. AI-based tools will automate detection of weak randomness and misconfigurations, and formal verification may eventually help validate real-world crypto developments. To wrap up, cryptography is a foundational part of penetration testing. Testers evaluate symmetric and asymmetric encryption, hashing, and randomness, not just in theory, but in their real, messy implementations. Most vulnerabilities come from the misconfiguration, not algorithmic weaknesses. Tools like Burp Suite, Hashcat, and hardware analyzers allow testers to uncover these issues before attackers do. As cryptography evolves, especially with post-quantum standards and smarter automated tools, penetration testing will play an even more crucial role in keeping systems secure. Thank you.
Use that. Okay, wait. How far back do I go?
That might be good, honestly.
Right here?
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Ready? Oh, I think it's already recording. I think we're good.